Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a great week. My husband and I just celebrated our 7th wedding anniversary, and I wanted to make him a special gift, a little box where he could keep all the cards I've made him through the years. I cut a piece of watercolor paper down to size and I glued it onto the lid of the box. In hindsight, I kind of wish I had just made the painting ahead of time and then glued it on the box, but I was too excited to get going on my project and I ended up getting ahead of myself, and in with that making it a little bit harder for me to work on my little project. But that's okay, it's still flat, so it's not too bad. And because the paper is stuck to the lid of the box, I don't really have to tape it to any other surface. So from that perspective, it's good. But it would have been better for me to work off the box and then stick it to the box. What can you say? If you guys want to create a similar little project, I would really recommend sticking your paper to the box after you've created your painting. My husband is a mountain biker and he really loves mountains, of course. And so I wanted to create for the lid of this box a little painting of an abstract mountainous landscape. Normally I like to go in with at least a couple of layers of watercolor just to intensify my colors, but in this case I decided that I love the background as it is. I love all the different textures and marks that were left by the salt and the water in the paper, and I'm feeling ready to start working on developing my mountains in the landscape. Another fun thing about working on a little landscape painting like this is that when I add elements to my sky using watercolor, I can then let that area of the painting dry and move on to working on the bottom part of the painting and adding more details. And so it keeps the process very flowy, if that's a word. Flowy. I don't know if flowy is a word, but I'm using it here. It just keeps the process flowing. Maybe that makes more sense. And so as the process keeps flowing, it gets easier and easier to make decisions as I go along. The box I'm using for this little project isn't a box that I bought. It's a box that I received when I purchased a journal. I love the journal and I do it a lot, and so I fill a lot of journals. And every once in a while when I order a new journal, the journal will come in a little box, and I always like the boxes that they come in, so I save them because I feel like there's always a new way to repurpose them. As I mentioned before, however, the fact that I put my paper on the box or glued my paper to the box before making the painting made it a little bit harder for me to work. So that's why I'm using a book right now to sort of prop my hand up at the level of the paper so that I can work more easily. Another thing that would be useful to do ahead of time is when you're creating your first circle, if you're creating a sun and you want to create some rings around your sun to sort of like mimic the semblance of light rays, do it all at once. I created my first circle and then I had to try and figure out where the center of that first circle was that I created using the circle guide, and it would have just been easier for me to create my first circle using this compass and then create my rings around the sun at the same time following the creation of the first circle. But you know, live and learn, as they say, and I'm certainly learning a lot as I paint, and if I can impart any of that knowledge to you, then I'm happy to do so. And I hope that giving you this little bit of an insight can help you as you're working. It certainly will make it easier for you to create more congruous, I don't know if it's the right word, circles that are equally spaced from each other, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say here. If you don't have your first circle or all of your circles working or being created on the same center, they're going to be a little bit off. And mine may be a little bit off here. They don't look too bad, but if I had just used the same center point with my compass to create all the circles, they would have looked a little bit more congruous, or I don't really know, but hopefully hopefully what I said makes sense and you get what I'm saying. If you don't, please don't hesitate to ask any questions. Often the very last step in my painting process is removing the tape from my painting and having a look without the blurry edges to see how I feel about the painting. And in this case, I really love what I've created so far, but I do feel like it's missing a little something. I recently found a gold that I love almost as much as my star gold, but I can't forget my star gold. I love it so much. It's such a brilliant color, and with the colors in this painting in particular, I thought it would look really nice, and I'm definitely not disappointed using it. But I do think it could use a little companionship maybe, and so I think I will come in and add some magic green as well. I'm also feeling like this area of the painting could use a little bit more value contrast, and so I've decided to come in with my fountain pen again and add a little bit of stippling to the sun. Okay, now I can really say that I'm very happy with my painting and I'm ready to call my little gift box complete. For me, Art is really a labor of love, and when I can combine this love with the purpose of creating something for someone I love, then it feels like everything just falls into place so easily. Here's a little glimpse of the card I created for my husband. There's so many reasons why this little project is so special to me. I hope you enjoyed watching the process as much as I enjoyed creating this little gift box. And I also hope you found inspiration for your next little project. Thank you again for making the time to join me on my creative journey. I hope you have a wonderful week and happy creating!